The weekly chart here on Tesla. We're respecting this upper trend line currently with these past 2 weeks with these long upper wicks. Obviously, this week that we printed in here, high of 284 and a low of 236. We ended the trading session on Friday and closed this candle out at 239.43. So we're going to see what happens in here going forward. But this 249 level, which is your 61.8% fib retrace level, and that 200 SMA, basically more or less the same. Just call it 249, make it even. Those are going to be our first areas of resistance. If we can gap up on Monday and we stay above this, then we're worried about this trend line here. And then we have to see where that candle is going to close here on the weekly. And then we can start working our way up back to the 295 areas. We're a little bit oversold on the RSI, but we still have a ways to go before we get to 30. We're currently at 37. So it's not completely oversold, but you're still farther down here, obviously, than we were in the past 5 months or so. Volume coming in, obviously, with that huge drop in the past 3 days because of the reciprocal tariffs in here in Tesla. So we have some volume in here. We got a drop. So we're going to see if we can bounce back and then how quickly we can bounce back. But it's all going to depend on if we're going to gap up above 249 on Monday, or if we're going to stay below that 249 area, then what are we looking at? Support wise, we got a little something down here right around that 220 area. And then below that, you're looking at the 200s before we get down to this 184, which is going to be our 78.6 fib retrace level. And that whole area was a great area of support and resistance for us back in February through July of last year. So that is going to be a main area, but really you have a little footing here right around those the 220s. I'm sorry, it's the 212s actually. So the 212 area and then the 200s. You're going to have a little bit of stoppage down there before we hit that main area of that 184. But we got to see if we're going to respect this trend line in here going forward. On the daily chart, you can see that we are still basically RSI is still the same, right? You're at 39. It was 37 on the weekly, and it's all going to be about that 249 area. We have a little resistance up here. If we open up above 249 or 250, that resistance of that 9-day EMA, which is a 261. So that is going to be an area for us to fight as well before we get up here to that 275 area. And that's where our upper trend line is on the weekly and daily charts in here. So the 9-day EMA and that upper trend line at that 275 is going to be areas that we're going to watch above 249 if we are gapping up on Monday. IV wise, what are we looking at in here? Well, obviously IV is through the roof. IV rank of 99. You have right around a $26 expected move by this Monday. Following Monday, right around a $3 or $33 expected move. And then we have earnings the following week. So we have to see if we're going to stay down here right around the 212 areas, if we're going to bounce off here and then work our way back up, or are we going to stay above this 249 and then slowly work our way into the earnings cycle. We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. It's all going to be news based in here. That is going to be key. So the technicals are telling us basically everything's oversold, but not really worrying about that. We're just kind of marking our levels, seeing what's going on in here, and then trying to watch the news and then play this accordingly. But again, 249 is going to be the key area in here. Above that, 261, 275. Below the 249, you're looking at that 212 and the 200 marks for your supports in here. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.